Hi, my name is Lindy from Project Portfolio Office, and in this video I'm going to be explaining the concept of entities in PPO. So let me just flip over there. So here I'm on my project list, and I think I should just start with the basics. So in PPO we've got the concept of project-related entities as well as non-project related entities. So if I just drill into any project, you'll always have the project information at the top that we capture in the beginning of the project, and then we have our project-related entities below that. So health indicators, comments, documents, your RAID, schedules, scope changes, and those things, they are all project-related entities as they are directly linked to a specific project. When it comes to non-project related entities, I'll just show 3 examples. So the first one is demand. If you don't have demand on your instance, it's potentially hidden behind capability activation. If not, it can also be configured. So the demand entity is a non-project related entity. It is standalone. You do not have the ability to add your project related entities like RAID against it. You can only basically link documents to it. Some clients would call it demand, others call it ideas, others would say pipeline. So it's a standalone entity. Another example is the program entity. So just drilling into a program, we have high-level program information on the program entity. We do have the ability to show the projects that have been linked to the program, but again, because it's a non-project related entity, it can't have its own risks, issues, actions, etc. Okay, I'm going to move over to the admin side of things. So if you are a PPO administrator, to get to entities under the administration menu, you just select entities and that takes you to the entities list page. So there's a couple of things that you can do here. Firstly, I have grouped my list to show the split between non-project related and project related entities. How I did that was just to apply this group by field for project related entities. So here you can see non-project related entities. Here I've got my demand, my program, resources, approvals, etc. And my project related entities that are directly linked to a specific project. Here we have the list over here. You will notice that we've got some custom entities available if you have a requirement to configure a new entity, and I'll get to that now. As an example, in your organization, you might not refer to scope changes. It could potentially be change requests. So we do have the ability to rename the entity names. So as an example, if I just look at scope changes over here, if I go to edit this entity, I can change the names. So instead of scope changes, I can rename it to change requests. So if I submit this, you will notice that we no longer refer to it as scope changes, but we refer to it as change requests. The same can be done when it comes to demand. As an example, if you call it ideas or pipeline, you can rename that over there. If you have a new requirement to implement a new entity, as an example, potentially dependencies, there are unused entities that you can use. So in my filter control, I'm just going to say in use equals no. So these are the additional entities that you do have available, 2 that are project related and 2 that are not project related. To enable any of these entities, you can literally just click into it. You give it a name and a plural name. So I'm using dependencies as an example, the name, the plural name, and I mark it as in use. Once it is in use, I can submit. And if I then go to my data fields, I then have the ability to configure the fields that I need in order to capture dependencies against my project. So I opted for a project-related entity. So under data fields, administration data fields, I can, in the filter control, then search for the entity with a name of dependency. And then by default, you'll already have 2 fields, just the key And then the second one is the project that the item will be linked to. There will be a separate video that's going to cover the data fields, but here you can see we've got the unused fields, and you can literally just click into edit this and start configuring your new entity. We generally always start with a title, so I've given it a caption, a description, and then we can add a category, say what type of field this should be, the length of the field, which is a maximum of 100 characters. And if I just submit this, you'll notice that this new entity that I'm starting to configure is placed at the top of my project main menu. So where dependencies would potentially fit in is under my RAID or under decisions. So in order to move the dependencies below that, feel free to log a support ticket with the support desk, and it's a quick fix for us just to move it in the correct order that you need it. I hope that you found this valuable. Thank you very much for watching.